Hey guys, so this video or this training is going to focus on how to run engaging challenge groups. The reason why I wanted to focus this as a topic was primarily inspired by one of our newer coaches, Kenyatta, who she invited me to one of her challenge groups. And I kind of was just like a fly on the wall. I was more so just watching and just kind of there if she had any questions or problems. And I was so impressed with how she ran her group. And I was so impressed at how engaged everyone was in her group. So that to me got me thinking. And so I kind of made a big deal about it. And she said, she was watching a bunch of videos about challenge groups and just basically took, especially from Anita Myron, who's one of our top coaches in the company, she took a lot of tips from her and really applied them to her challenge groups, which then of course got me like, well, I need to watch that video and watch those trainings. And what happened was it really did just reignite my passion for challenge groups. There have been times where I've run challenge groups that have been amazing and everyone's participating. Everyone's like on fire going for it. And there are some that are just like so lackluster and so dry and no one's participating and it just turns into me just like posting. And to be honest, when that happens, even when you're like, I'm going to be like so focused and I'm going to like still give 100% because I know people are still watching, it wanes on you. It makes you feel like, why am I even doing this if no one's going to post? So to prevent that from happening, I realized that I had to revamp my approach to my challenge groups. And I wanted to share with you some things that I've done that have made the groups way more engaging. I am thrilled with the past two groups I have. I have two groups running right now, and I'm about to have a third one just because it's a Team Cup month. I'm trying to get as many groups going as possible. But here's some things that I did to help to get going with the challenge groups. So the first thing that I did was I made sure, one, I had my date selected for all my challenge groups. So as I told you this before, I have every single date for my challenge groups for the rest of the year in this book. And then I take that time and I plug it into my phone and I create a reminder about like 5 days before that I need to start inviting. Then I break down like when should I start inviting, when should I be following up? Like I really broke it down to a science. That way there's no excuse for me not to invite people to my challenge groups. Secondly, I had a list. You should always be working from a list. And I talked about this earlier. I have a list of people that I'm running down and that I'm talking to every single month. And certain people that didn't respond, or said no to this group, well, then that's not a problem because here's another list. So the people that said no, I move them over to this list. And I just keep that list going. I keep adding more people. My goal is to start a list with 100 people. You're probably saying, I don't know 100 people or I've already invited everyone that I know. Well, you can watch my training video on social media. I've how to expand your network with social media. Or you can check in the Team Coach online office, and they have some good trainings about expanding your market. And there's also a really good team call, like national coach call, that talks about that as well. So there's many different ways that you can expand your market. This is not what this call is about. This call is about once you have people ready to go for your challenge groups. So here's the thing. The bulk of your business is going to stem from your challenge groups. Your Success Club points are going to come from challenge. Most of your Success Club points will come from challenge groups. Most of your potential coaches are going to come from challenge groups. And you become better as a coach when you are running challenge groups because it forces you to step out of your comfort zone and to get to know more people and to work with them differently and to really learn their goals and objectives and all that stuff. So the challenge groups, actually, I'm going to scoot up. The challenge groups are really a great way to build your business, build your confidence, and help your customers and potential coaches to get confidence as well. So these are like critical to your business. However, once you get to that point, one of the most important things about your challenge groups, because remember, this is the bread and butter of our business, is that you want to make sure that you create a challenge group that people want to be a part of, and that's actually exciting and fun, and it's going to be something that people really, really enjoy. I'm just going to grab my notebook real quick because I took some notes that I just want to make sure that I'm going through all of them. But some things to really think about with your challenge groups is really creating an opportunity where you are creating this great experience for the challengers who are part of it. Why? Because one, you put in the hard work of building your list, setting up everything, getting them in, going through the 5-step process, putting this amazing group together. Why not make it something that people are going to be so excited to be a part of and like enthusiastic and like fired up about it, right? So that's really why you want to do that. Two, because they've invested their time and their money for you to be their coach in this group by getting a challenge pack. So if someone invests, $100 and something to join your challenge, you better make it worth $140. So the first thing you want to ask yourself is this challenge group worth the amount that the person invested in? If it's not, then you're doing them a disservice, and no wonder why they're not checking in, because you haven't given them value in the group. Great, yes, when they get a challenge pack, they're getting a fitness program, they're getting Shakeology, they're getting a meal plan, they're getting a guide, the meal guides, they're getting a calendar, they're getting a professionally created fitness program, they're getting all this stuff, bonus DVDs, access to the Beachbody on Demand. That's tons of value right there in itself. But the value that you provide stems from you being their coach and your challenge groups. So if your challenge groups kind of fall short, they have all the tools they need to succeed, but they don't have the support that they need. That means they will not successfully reach their goals, or it's going to take a long time, or it's going to be more of a struggle. You need to make sure that you not only reach the value that they've invested with the programs and products that they have, but exceed that even more. And that's going to happen by you taking a very serious approach to these challenge groups and making it an engaging, supportive, motivating environment that's going to hold them accountable to checking in with their workouts and their meals every single day. So here's some things I wrote down. First of all, just some tips. So some of these are tips that I got from Anita Myron's videos. I got from Summit, some that I just like that have worked really well for me in my challenge groups. I wanted to share those with you. So that's really, really a good thing too. So the first thing is you want to be very clear on when you're going to have your groups. Why this is important is because then you can better prepare yourself for those groups, because it's going to require some time and investment from you. So don't just throw a group together because you're like itching for Success Club points. Plan it out properly and accordingly so you can make sure that you can provide the most value at the very beginning and nothing gets missed. Two, you want to think about what type of group is it going to be. Is it going to be a themed group? Is it going to be a program-specific group? Is it a general fitness accountability group? Is it fitness and clean eating? Is it going to incorporate fitness and motivation and clean eating? Figure out what your group is going to encompass, okay? And really understand what you're going to provide. Know what your challengers are going to receive by being a part of this group. Why is this important? Because you have to communicate this to them when you're inviting. So you don't just want to, sorry, my nose is like itching like crazy. My windows are open. You don't just want to invite people to a group and then, they ask what it's about and you're like, it's just, you check in with your workouts. Or, so think about that way. You're saying, okay, great. Well, this challenge group is going to be really awesome. It's going to be 30 days focusing on clean eating and fitness. Each person's going to be working out with a Beachbody home fitness program. They're going to be placing 1 meal a day with Shakeology, and then they'll be checking in daily with their workouts and their meals. As your coach, I'm going to be sharing with you some meal plans that I put together. I'm going to share with you some motivational videos, some recipes for your Shakeology, as well as we'll be doing some fun challenges to keep you motivated and accountable throughout the group. How does that sound? Do you see the difference already between the two different groups? One sounds like you're being a drill sergeant and saying, post your meals, post your workouts, post your Shakeology, and, check it. The other one's like, we're doing challenges. I'm giving you meal plans. You're going to be drinking the healthiest, meal of the day and all this fun stuff. It gets them excited. So you have to bring the excitement first, because a lot of people don't know what these challenge groups are all about. So if you just give them a very vague description, they're not going to really see the value in it. But when you start saying buzzwords like, I'm going to give you recipes and meal plans, which you can find in your back office and the club membership, or just go onto Google or to Pinterest and find recipes and find meal plans that you can share with them, that they can take a look at and they can take home and they can use themselves. You don't have to create anything brand new when it comes to that kind of stuff, because there's tons of resources available for that. But it's the fact that you're curating all of this to give them into the challenge groups. That's where the value comes in. That's where the value comes from. Okay? So really understanding that's going to be important when you're communicating to people, when you're going through the 5-step invite process to get them to be a part of your challenge groups. Then the next thing that you want to do is you want to, get your date in order. Have your dates, be able to invite, do all that stuff. Let them know. Let them know when they need to order by, okay? A lot of coaches get kind of stuck because they don't set the proper deadlines of, okay, great, as long as you order by this date, you'll be perfectly fine. You can start off this challenge group and everything's going to be great. You'll have everything that you need. And that way people don't get frustrated when the challenge group starts and they don't have their materials. So already they're starting off one step behind the rest of the group, which isn't really fair to them. So the value in their mind of this group has already taken a step down because they've already missed the mark on being excited with everyone else when they start. That's one thing to definitely think about. Next thing you want to do is take the time to get to know your challengers, okay? One thing that I do is I actually created a Wufoo form. You can do Wufoo, SurveyMonkey, Google Drive, Doc, a form, or just get on the phone and talk to them, whatever you want to do. I actually create a form on Wufoo where I get their name, their email address. I ask them, what flavor of Shakeology they got, what type of challenge pack do they get, like which program do they get. I ask what their goals are. I also ask, if you are not checking into the group, what do you need from me? Do you need me to call you out? Do you need me to give you a call? Do you need me to email you? What can I do to help to keep you accountable? Then I also ask, I think, maybe one other question. Sorry, I need to close my window. My allergies are acting up. So I ask a bunch of questions first to get to know them a bit more, and I need to know how I can better serve them as their coach. So that should be your next step. Once someone has purchased your challenge group, what I do is once I get their order, I send them a link, say, awesome, thanks for ordering. You're all set. I'm going to put you in the group. But before I put you in the group, please fill out this form. This form is going to help me to help better coach you and make sure you get the results. So now I have information about them. I have their goals. I have all this great stuff on them that's going to help me to better keep them engaged in the group. Then the next thing that you want to do is once you get them into the group, go ahead and make sure that you have your posts ready. Okay? So before I put anyone into the group, so while they're filling out that form, I'm going through and making sure all my posts for the whole month are complete. What you can do in the back office, there is actually a coaching guides for every single challenge group. There's a product coach guide. I would highly suggest that you go into your back office, you find that guide, and you actually read through all the posts, okay? I use every single one of those posts, but what I do is I kick things up a notch. So every single morning at 8 o'clock, I will post 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'm on the West Coast. So every single time I schedule into Hootsuite every single post from the Beachbody Challenge Guide, because they're really well thought out and they're really well written with great information about Shakeology, about the fitness programs, about some motivational stuff, some videos. So it's a really good guide. But then at 12 o'clock, that's when I bring my own flavor to the group. So I'm all about like fun, fitness, food, motivation, different things like that. I use the 12 o'clock slot and I send out posts that are more me. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll have like theme days. So Monday's Motivational Monday, Tuesday is Tasty Tuesday, where I'm having them to share a recipe that they want to try. I do work it out Wednesdays, where I actually have them show them either working out, or I do a workout challenge, hold a plank for 30 seconds and post a video, or do a wall sit or something like that. Just something kind of fun and an extra that they can do anywhere. Thursday's Thirsty Thursday, so I give them a challenge to drink a certain amount of water, and then it's Friday is Flex Friday, I think. Flex Friday or Fitness Friday, where I have them actually share a photo of them working out and flexing their muscles or whatever. And then the weekends, I give them kind of homework. I give them some type of task they have to do over the weekend. So that's a good way. And then based off people who comment and do the task and check in for my 12 o'clock, those are the people that I put into mini challenges, and I'll maybe give them a gift or something small, like a pack of a sample of a different flavor of Shakeology for them to try. Or it may just be something like a Starbucks gift card, or just a shout out, just some people just recognition, where I'll do a photo collage of all the people that checked in consistently for that week, or something like that. Also on Fridays, I have them to text me, email me, or message me their results for the week. A lot of people just post it in the group on Fridays, but I say feel free to text me, message me, or email me your results. So that way I'm still staying on top of their progress throughout the week. And then at 7 o'clock, what I do is I have them check in on a scale from 1 to 10, how did you do for the day? So I will, and it's the same every day at 7 o'clock, it's the same message. How did you do? That's because I want them to check back in and really kind of take some time and think about their day. So many times we'll go in and do these challenge groups and people just get an autopilot. But I really want change to happen in their habits. I want them to think about, if you were a 10 with your water, but a 6 with your nutrition and an 8 for your workouts, what do you need to do to get all 10s the next day? It's a great way to keep them very engaged and involved in the process. So I get all my posts together, and then I actually get them scheduled through Hootsuite at those times, 8 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 7 o'clock. So that way the posts are all taken care of. And every single month, I just go into, maybe we'll tweak some things in the posts. I may update some stuff, information, new things, information comes out all the time. So before I open up the group, I actually make sure that all the posts are ready and scheduled into Hootsuite. Once that happens, then I invite them into the group. I add all of my members into the group. The first few days, I'm simply just getting them prepared for the challenge group. So we're doing a kitchen audit. We're talking about what is clean eating so they understand how to eat clean. If they're doing a program, what I do is I actually just kind of create a little video where I say, okay, guys, this is the program we're doing. Here's your eating plan guide. I want you to go through this guide, read everything you need. This is what's so great about it, how to use it, yada, yada, yada. Comment below once you've read it and any questions that you may have. So that way they know what to expect. I also let them know about the calendar. If you are doing a Beachbody program, you have a calendar of what to do. So I let them know, put it somewhere. I explain how they can use it, so that way there's no questions about some of the stuff that they're getting, because you get a lot of stuff when you get your challenge packs. So that's definitely something that I do as well. Another thing is that I set expectations. So I actually create a video where I go through and I actually have created a kind of an expectation video. Here's what's expected of you. Here's what's expected of me. Here's what's expected of the group in general. You're going to check in daily. You're going to create a workout schedule. You're going to drink Shakeology every day. You're going to eat 4 to 6 times a day using the meal plan guide. You're going to track and share your progress. We're going to focus on non-scale victories. You're going to be present. You're going to be patient. You're going to have fun. My role is to provide, to post daily of posts that'll keep you motivated and inspired. My goal is to encourage you, to help keep you accountable, to celebrate. I'm also going to participate. So in this video, I'm breaking everything down for everyone so that they know exactly what the group is all about. Okay? So that's day 1, day 2. That video is so clutch for you to share so that way people know exactly what their roles and objectives are. And I'll pin that video for a while, for the first week or so. At that point, now the group can start. Okay, the group will start to run. Now getting people engaged, that's the tricky part. So there are many different ways that you can do it, okay? I'll share with you some of the ways that I do it. One thing that I do is, first I'll share a general list. You can assign accountability partners. So you can take your group based off of the form or the info that you've gotten about their goals and more information about them and say, hey, I think you and Amy would be really good partners together. So you put them together and they'll just kind of motivate each other throughout the group. Okay, throughout the whole duration, they're gonna, if they see that their partner's not checking in, they can, help to figure it out, or you can kind of talk to their partner. You can do themes. So every week can be a different theme. You can do contests. You can do mini challenges. Post recipes. That's a big part. A lot of people in the challenges struggle. Well, in my challenge groups struggle because they're not quite sure what to eat. So I'm always trying to find recipes. One thing that I did was I actually created a board on Pinterest, and it's just my challenge group board. And I post recipes and tips and videos, and I just post into the group. If you need some more recipes, check out my clean eating group recipes. If you need more motivation, here's my motivation board, and they can just look at all the stuff on my board. So I get to have fun pinning all this awesome stuff that I can use later on for my groups. I also like to make sure that I'm posting and sharing information about Shakeology, because a lot of times people don't quite understand exactly what it is, and they think it's just a protein shake. So I spend a lot of time talking about the value of it and why they invested in it and why they should continue to drink it every single day, even after the challenge is over, because it really is a game changer. And I'm such a huge fan. It's always with me. It's so good. So that's, something I also do. I ask a lot of questions in the group. I want to get feedback. I want to know how they're doing. So a lot of my 12 o'clock posts are questions. I'll post something, but I'll also ask, put a question on there. Another thing that you could do is point system. So what's worked a lot, and I typically do like the last week of the challenge group or the last 2 weeks to keep people motivated, is a point system. So you can do, you get 1 point when you drink Shakeology that day. You get 1 point for posting a workout photo. You get 1 point for submitting your results for the week. You get 1 point for posting a photo of your meal. You get 1 post for, sharing something really motivational, inspirational, and you get 5 points for doing my weekend challenges. And this also is great because you can tally up the points, and that way you can have multiple winners in your challenge groups, because you don't want to have someone who's like, well, I lost the most weight, so I'm the best. Some people are going to gain muscle. Some people, they don't really need to lose weight. They just need to change the composition of their body. And that's harder to measure unless you have equipment to do that. So that way you can have multiple winners in your challenges if you want to do prizes at the end of the day. Another thing that you want to do is just recognize people. If someone lost weight or had a non-scale victory or has been consistently checking in, I do a rock star of the week. And I'll just say, like, oh my gosh, you're a rock star. You totally killed it this week. And it gets people excited. It makes them want to continue to push. And those who didn't get the rock star of the week, they're going to really try to get it for the following week. So that's definitely a way that you can really activate and get people going. If you get their email addresses or their mailing addresses, once they purchase, you can see their information. Just send them a card. Just get some, stationery. I have so much station. Oh. Where is it? Where's my stationery? Yeah. I have so much cool little stationery things that I just like to send out to people every now and then, just to say thank you. Thank you for, being a part of this group. You rock. I don't think I have any more you rock ones. But how nice would it be just to get something in the mail for just being awesome, for participating in the challenge groups. I'm trying to find more cards. I don't have any more. But something so simple, actually. I'm going to do some when I get done with this video. Let's see what else I wrote down. this is also a great way for you to, and just make it fun. So create videos of yourself, talking to the groups. One thing that I did is this time around, I created a group chat because some people aren't good at posting, but some people actually are really into Facebook Messenger. So they can actually message, each other in the group chat. So if I have an important message, I'll say, hey guys, I just posted a really cool video in the group chat and the group. Make sure you check it out. We're going to do a contest this week about it. So make sure that you watch it and pay attention. Another thing that you can do is, so if you have some people that are doing a really good job in the group, that's also a great way for you to reach out to them and say, hey, do you want to help me with running the last week of the challenge group? Give them a task to do. Maybe they can, post a motivational video for the group on Monday, or they can, give you ideas for a challenge, for a mini challenge. Right, this is important for the ones that are actively participating and rocking it and being leaders. These are people who could be potential coaches for your business. These are people who are probably naturally a rock star coach waiting to happen. They just haven't had the opportunity because you haven't asked them yet. So if you identify some standouts in your challenge groups, ask them, have you ever considered doing what I do as a coach and running groups like this? I think you'd be great at it because I can tell you're loving Shakeology, you're using the fitness program, you're getting great results, you're so inspiring and motivational, you're keeping everyone else so focused and motivated in the group, and I would love to run a group with you to kind of have you shadow the group and really help, and we can co-host the group together. You can invite all of your friends and family and coworkers, and we can help you to start to build your business that way. That's huge for someone who just thought they were just joining a challenge group just to, lose weight, but to potentially be at a place where they could start a business and do what we do as coaches is pretty amazing. And it's a really, really great way to ensure that they will be able to duplicate this process moving forward with their challenge groups because they've been a part of a rockstar challenge group. So that's one thing that you want to talk about with standout people. I'm trying to think, anything else? Those are pretty much my main tips. But one thing that I also like to do in the groups, after the group is done, I also create a feedback form on Wufoo. So I want to know how much weight you lost, how many inches, what non-scale victories did you have? Do you want to participate in another group? Would you like to co-host a challenge group with me and learn a little bit more about coaching? I try to get as much information, what feedback do you have for me? Because no group is ever perfect. When you deal with a bunch of people, they may have some suggestions themselves. So I use that to help me to make sure that as I move forward, every group that I put together is one that really will get the job done and make people excited and interested in joining the challenge groups. So that's all that I really had about that training. Again, I'm trying to keep them about 30 minutes so that way you can get your questions answered. With that, I will go ahead and open up for questions. If you have any questions or tips about your challenge groups, and if you're watching this as a replay, just comment below with your challenge group questions and I will answer them for sure. But thank you so much for being a part of this. This was something that I just felt was, maybe we'll give at least one tip that you can gather and you can implement to your upcoming training group. That's what it really matters to me, is that you get some sort of value from it. So again, any questions, if you're listening live, you can feel free to ask me now. If you're watching the replay, you can comment below and I will send you more information.